Caitlin Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, "Yep, that's definitely murder," and gave Caitlin a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck, what the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlin's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double, won by 35.
Angel Reese got benched. And no, this wasn't your typical rest the starters kind of move. This was the kind of benching that makes you tilt your head and wonder, wait, what is the coach thinking? But Angel? She didn't sulk. She flipped the script. She went straight into savage mode. Her reaction? Bold enough to leave reporters speechless, fans stunned, and even the Gatorade bottle sweating. It wasn't just a response, it was a glitter-drenched MIC drop with attitude. And what she did next? You're not ready. Buckle up.
Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago sky, and I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlin Clark this year, and I'm telling you right now.
Angel Reese got benched on live TV. And no, this wasn't just a casual lineup shuffle or a clever coaching tactic. This was the basketball version of being told, sit down and reevaluate your entire life. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't your average sideline moment. This was a full-on, front-row drama fest, unfolding with the kind of dramatic flair that only happens when the sports gods are kicked back, sipping tea, and watching ESPN like it's Real Housewives, NCAA edition.
Black and white sports supporters, well, I told you guys there would be a follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
So, what led to the downfall of Queen Ree? Just a little something called pure, unfiltered rage, the kind that hits like a Marvel villain going off script. It all started with Caitlin Clark. Yes, that Caitlin Clark, whose shooting range practically requires air traffic control. She committed a foul. Not a tech, not a flagrant. Just your everyday, nothing to see here type of call. You know, the kind of whistle that happens 16 times a quarter when ankles are burning and elbows are flying like someone tossed them in a blender.
Got this little white girl and Caitlin Clark out here busting that flat out, bruh, triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat padding stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play." Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out. What y'all gonna say?
But Angel Reese? Oh no, she didn't just react. She detonated. If the arena had a smoke alarm, they would have had to finish the fourth quarter in the parking lot. Let's be clear, this wasn't your typical competitive fire. This wasn't two elite athletes sharpening each other. This wasn't playful joying between rivals. This was raw, unfiltered animosity, with a side of "I hope your laces come undone" mid-crossover. The look Angel shot at Caitlin? It could have melted steel. And the energy she brought? It made Godzilla vs. Kong look like a polite garden party hosted by Mr. Rogers.
We need to talk about the hard foul. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this, and me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there, but I'm gonna say this. WNBA, lean in on this. Lean in on this.
But here's the real kicker. Reese didn't stop at throwing daggers from a distance. Nope. She made a beeline for Caitlin like she was trying out for Survivor, Hardwood Heat Edition. If body language had a volume knob, Angel cranked it to "I absolutely have time today." You could practically hear the courtside commentators choking on their popcorn, trying to decide if they were watching a basketball game or the season finale of a reality show.
Basketball player, refs got it right. Move on.
And Caitlyn? Let's just say she had that frozen. Wait, what is even happening? Look, the kind you'd expect from someone who just got tackled mid-spelling bee. Because honestly, Caitlyn didn't do much, unless simply existing now counts as a provocation. Sure, she committed a foul, but Angel reacted like Caitlyn dissed her jump shot, her playlist, and her grandmother all in the same breath. Then came the benching. And not just any benching, the kind where the coach won't even make eye contact. Just a silent nope, sit down. Not today. The crowd? They went from hype to oh no in 5 seconds flat. And Angel didn't even protest. That was the scariest part. She sat down with the kind of slow-burning fury you only see in someone who's just been told they can't bring snacks into the movie theater. Then came the fallout. Because in case you blinked, Twitter exploded. Fans weren't just mad. They were launching digital nukes from every corner of the internet. Angel's supporters were torn between she's just passionate and okay but what in the WWE just happened. And Caitlyn's fans? Oh, they were firing off memes faster than Angel got benched. Suddenly, the timeline looked less like basketball and more like a crossover episode between First Take and Maury.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul and what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And Angel's response? Oh, buckle up. She didn't apologize. She didn't walk it back. She doubled down. With the grace of a freight train and the subtlety of a jackhammer, Angel came for Caitlyn like it was open season. No disguises, no hesitation. She made one thing crystal clear. This isn't just a rivalry. It's a vendetta. If there's a dartboard in Angel's room, you already know who's front and center. You could feel it. In her stance, in her glare, in the way she answered post-game questions with the emotional force of a Category 5 hurricane. This wasn't just a competitive edge. This was war. And if looks could earn fouls, Caitlyn would have racked up 6 and a technical before tip-off. Now let's talk fallout. The NCAA loves to preach sportsmanship and grace, but don't be fooled. You know they were watching that clip on loop like it was the trailer for their next PR nightmare. Because here's the thing, you don't go full berserk mid-game. Try to verbally vaporize your opponent on national TV, and walk off with a pat on the back and a fresh Gatorade. This isn't the 90s NBA. This is modern college ball, and Queen Ree is in hot, scalding water. Somewhere in NCAA HQ, a group of officials in khakis are probably huddled in a conference room right now, sweating bullets, frantically Googling how to discipline a star without tanking March Madness ratings.
Sugarcoating this is pure hate. Pure hatred for that white girl in India. Excuse me. I need to specify. Sorry. The one that wears 22 in Indiana.
Her coach. Oh, he looked like a man slowly realizing that coaching Angel Reese might require a degree in conflict resolution and a minor in professional babysitting. That post-game press conference? It had all the energy of someone trying to explain their browser history to their wife, 4 forced smiles, 5 deep sighs, and the classic go-to, we'll deal with it internally. Translation. I have no idea what she's going to do next, and I'm praying the league steps in before I have to. Meanwhile, the fan base was spiraling into an existential crisis. Half of them yelling, "She's just passionate." The other half frantically Googling, "Can a player get ejected for side-eye?" And the rest? Oh, they were just there for the drama, popcorn in hand, watching the WNBA morph into a reality show starring drama queens in sneakers. And let's not pretend this is Angel Reese's first emotional fireworks display. No. She's been turning games into Emmy reels since the NCAA days. She doesn't just play with passion, she plays like someone read her diary out loud during warm-ups and projected it on the Jumbotron. But last night? That was next level. That was Defcon 1 in a high ponytail. That was flip the table, steal chair from under the bench energy in a league that allegedly has officials and rules. She stormed around the court like someone spoiled the finale of her favorite show. And no, this wasn't competitive fire, this was full-on cartoon villain theatrics. Honestly, if she had pulled out a fog machine and walked onto the court to a custom-themed song, no one would have blinked.
Like the way your players responded there, just to that moment, it looked like somebody was coming over, talking with Angel, coaching staff was talking with her, to calm her down, make sure that it didn't escalate any further.
Yeah, I think that it's a little misrepresentation to calm her down. I think emotions were high on both sides, and so I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react, in a moment like that.
Because while Angel was stewing on the bench, Caitlin was still out there dropping buckets like nothing was burning down around her. That's right, while one star combusted, the other just kept rising. Somewhere, you can practically hear Nike XX scrambling. Okay, maybe dial back the grit and lean into sportsmanship for the next campaign. Meanwhile, sports analysts are spiraling. Is Angel Reese a liability now? Is Caitlin Clark the real grown-up in the room? Should the league assign a therapist to every locker room? Everyone's got a take. Half sound like conspiracy theories, the other half like scenes from an ESPN soap opera no one asked for. And behind the scenes? Oh, it's chef's kiss chaos. Teammates are probably tiptoeing around like it's a haunted house. Coaches are drafting post-game apologies like breakup texts. PR teams are in full meltdown mode. Somewhere, a group chat is absolutely on fire. But the biggest L of the night? That's on Angel. Because no matter how good you are, no matter how many rebounds you grab or points you stack, if the defining moment of your night is a courtside meltdown and a lonely seat on the pine, the memes are going to win. Every single time.
We saw Caitlin Clark become the fastest player in WNBA history to have 3 triple-doubles. Besides it getting a little bit spicy with her and Reese, what did you like that you saw from Clark?
Speaking of spicy, right? I think that was just a no free buckets foul. Now, it was a hard one, and I think the refs did their job, and I'm glad we can focus on the court. But Caitlin Clark, she came in this season as the MVP favorite for 2025, and even though it's one game, you can see that it may not just be all tough. She had a triple-double, as you mentioned, 20, 10, and 10. And you can see 2 things happening. Playing with vets like Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard, it allows her to not constantly be doubled or triple teams or trapped.
Versus Clark, it went head-to-head. Let's check out when as we pick this up early in the second. Angel Reese, she's been working on that jumper, and it's good. Some respect on it. Sky down 3 under 10 left now. Clark finds her spot, and it's a green bean. CC beating the buzzer, and then check this out on the Sky bench. Angel Reese, he's like, man, come on, man. Y'all need to D up. How you gonna let her get that jump? A little shade. Fever up by 13 at the break. Third quarter. Watch Reese under the hoop here. After the miss, this is what everyone's talking about. She gets a rebound, and then Clark comes in with a hard foul. Reese has to be held back as Aaliyah Boston steps in.
And let's not kid ourselves. This isn't going away anytime soon. Angel's meltdown is now immortalized in 4K. It's on TikTok. It's on Twitter. It's in your uncle's group chat. Her face mid-scream, mid-lunge, mid-drama, already on t-shirts. It's destined to haunt highlight reels for the next decade. Somewhere, the ESPN graphics team is probably working overtime, desperately trying to find a frame where she doesn't look like she's trying to summon a demon with pure rage. And Caitlin? She's probably off quietly sipping water, updating her LinkedIn with expert in de-escalation and professional in being hated for no reason. You could tell by the way she didn't even glance back. This wasn't new. This feud? It's been simmering. 4 months. Maybe longer. And now it's officially boiled over like instant ramen on a dorm room hot plate. Here's the real tragedy, though. This could have been avoided. This could have been an epic game. A night where both stars shined. A showcase of talent, not temper. Instead, we got a live-action soap opera, and not even a good one. Less plot, more pouting. Angel's fire could have lit up the scoreboard. Instead, it just burned down her own bench.
Sure that tensions didn't get too high after the play. Now with this play, they did call a flagrant 1 on Caitlin Clark. They said that it was unnecessary contact on the play, but I immediately knew, I was like, oh crap, this is going to be something that goes viral. A bunch of people are going to talk about it. People are going to make it into something bigger than it needs to be.
So now the big question, what's next? Will Angel get suspended, fined, sent off to a meditation retreat with Phil Jackson and a bag of incense? Will the NCAA sweep this under the rug because, hey, drama sells ratings? Or will they make her the poster child for every player who thinks passion means going full Terminator mid-game? Time will tell. But one thing's clear, Angel Reese might have superstar talent, but last night she showed the impulse control of a YouTube comment section. And that's not just bad for her career, it's bad for the sport. Because at some point, the drama has to end, and the basketball has to take center court again. Until then, enjoy the bench, Angel. You've earned that view. And let's not forget the irony. The cosmic joke written in bold across the hardwood. Angel Reese, who once crowned herself the ultimate competitor, the unshakable enforcer, the queen of trash talk, just talked herself right out of the game. It's the sports equivalent of declaring checkmate, only to realize you'd been playing Connect 4 the whole time. Now her supporters are scrambling like a conspiracy theory subreddit. She's misunderstood. She's just emotional. The media is twisting everything. Please. The media didn't twist a thing. The cameras were rolling.
The Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky, and folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dogfight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout. And it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force.
The microphones were live. Every hot wing-fueled fan across America had their eyes glued to the screen. If this was just a misunderstanding, then so was the sinking of the Titanic. And Angel's timing? It couldn't have been worse. The game was tight. Her team desperately needed leadership. But instead, they got a one-woman Broadway show called Unhinged, the musical. Instead of stepping up as the clutch player, she chose to be the chaos coordinator. What's even more disappointing than her meltdown? The deafening silence from her teammates, who clearly weren't eager to jump aboard that sinking emotional ship. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? She could probably run for office after that. Facing down a wildfire of fury with the calm of a Buckingham Palace guard, Caitlin looked practically bulletproof. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Caitlin's icy composure versus Angel's emotional demolition derby. One looked like an MVP. The other looked like an unpaid extra in a drama class final. And here's where it really hits hard. The punishment is coming. Whether it's a suspension, a benching longer than her lashes, or a character-building session with the NCAA's least funny compliance officer, Angel's about to learn that even stars can be dimmed by their own attitude. This isn't just about one outburst. It's about a pattern. And fans are noticing. Those same voices that were chanting her name last season are now asking if she's more of a liability than a leader.
And this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at it. She was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. What's going on? Look, and the thing is, I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool. But I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam.
But a lot of hate going on out there. And I mean, hate from Angel Reese fans onto both Indiana Fever fans and guys that just want to talk about sports like Robert Griffin III.
She had the chance to elevate the game, to teach young athletes how to bounce back from adversity. Instead, she showed them how to throw away a primetime moment for pure pettiness. And if she's not careful, this won't be just a footnote in her career, it'll become her legacy. So welcome to the court of public opinion, Angel Reese. The verdict? Guilty of self-sabotage served with a generous side of unnecessary drama. Enjoy your time in timeout. Maybe while you're there, take a moment to realize that passion without control is just a tantrum with better sneakers.